the big aliens from Independence Day. They were, that was my cancer. That was those big aliens sort of taking over all of those cities. They were the sort of shadows on my X-rays. They were the tumours everywhere, and those are my little cancer cells. And so everything I did was to kill one of those little cancer cells. So every tablet I took was going to make me stronger and that cancer weaker. So every hour I was sat in a chair, bored out of my brain, or lay in bed feeling really rotten, that was a minute that I was feeling worse, but the cancer was feeling much, much worse. But when you're an inpatient for so long, you do become dehumanized and just sort of like a human pincushion. But you do recognize your friends, and you still really recognize the importance of your friends. So I remember coming home, and it was a gloriously beautiful sunny day, and I was only home for a weekend, and I saw my friends. I could only see them for a few minutes because I was really tired. Forget when you're in hospitals, the birds and the trees, and the feeling of carpet underneath your toes, and sat and talking to your friends about what they're doing at the moment. And you don't totally isolate yourself, and it's difficult, but you have to make yourself talk to your friends. The way that the treatment itself means that you can't be exposed to too many people, because your treatment reduces your immune system, and so you can't have visitors who've got colds, you can't have visitors who've been sick or anything like that, because it means you're very, very vulnerable to having infections. So what normally happens is that you have what they call a cycle. So you have your chemotherapy, and you're usually fairly well while you're having the chemotherapy. You feel quite sick, but you're usually fairly well. And then sort of 5 days after, you then start to get what they call, I think, called neutropenia. Now that's where your white cell, your immune system sort of succumb to the chemotherapy. And those sort of next 7 days or so, you are usually quite ill. Usually you pick up some sort of infection. Well, I used to pick up some sort of infection, and then while your immune system's recovering, you're starting to feel better. And then by the time your immune system's recovered, which usually takes about sort of up to about 2.5 weeks, you have a few days off, and then you're back in for more chemotherapy again. So that's sort of how it works. So throughout those times when your immune system is a bit low, you shouldn't really be seeing anyone. So it's not really self-induced isolation, but you've been told that you're being isolated. There's nothing you can do about it. And to be honest with you, I was quite cranky, so nobody would want to see me anyway.